What is up, everyone? And we are live. Welcome to this special SummerSlam Fallout on my YouTube channel, presented by the Worldly Podcast. It's Marquise. You can find me on Twitter at Marquise89_. And we got, I thought that was The Undertaker. You saw his shadow. You couldn't see his face, but you could see him. It's Justin from the End Time Wrestling Podcast. I knew you were going to show up. And by the way, I think this is the third time you come on a Fallout I'm hosting. We got a trend going. We need to just keep it that way.
Right?
I don't know. At least I can depend on you showing up. I said it to everyone. If they show up, they show up. I know Dylan and Jordan.
My availability is always open, so.
Well, I see why you're the podcast whore, but I approve. Well, I sent it to Dylan and Jordan, but they're at the movies right now. They're going to see Nope. And I'm like, nope.
Shit.
Not. I heard it was terrible. Y'all might like
Really?
it. I heard a lot of bad reviews about it. Like,
Ooh, that's not good news then. Damn.
There's like no plot. That's what a buddy of mine who's in the Navy. He went saw it. He's stationed in Alaska, and him and his buddies went saw it, and they said it was the fucking worst thing ever. And I'm like, I would never planned on seeing it, but now I was like, I'm definitely not gonna go see it.
I was gonna say the first two Jordan Peele movies were supposedly great, and now this one flops. That's kind of shitty.
See, that's what Dylan said. Dylan's a big fan of him, and he was like, I'm gonna go see it. And I'm like, well, let me know how bad it sucks, because I wasn't planning on seeing it. It kind of looks stupid, but I'm like, maybe it might. It's like a ripoff of Scary Movie, but nothing can touch Scary Movie 1, 2, and hell, I'll throw in 3. 4 and 5 are kind of meh. Oh, well, we're here. We're talking about SummerSlam. Before we break everything down, give me your honest thought about the whole pay-per-view.
I mean, I went into it with pretty low expectations on a lot of it. There was some I was interested in, but holy shit, show exceeded my expectations. That's for damn sure.
No lie. This was actually the first premiere live event under Triple H and Stephanie, and I got to tell you, they sure put on a hell of a show.
Hell yeah.
Keep a lookout of later. We're almost in August now. Well, actually, in one more day from that, but actually not in August. Not till September. I told Dylan them, I said, probably by mid-September, like maybe September 21st, we're going to do an episode, get top 5 pay-per-views of the summer 2022. So we still got Clash at the Castle. We still got All Out. Basically, we got 2 shows left. We got another show tonight. We got Ric Flair's last match on Fight TV. I'm going to check out. I mean, I'm not that hyped for it. I don't think it's definitely not going to out-top SummerSlam, but we'll see what happens. But I was actually impressed. And I always said SummerSlam can deliver, but it's been a long time coming. This was I'm not going to say it was the best SummerSlam ever, but I haven't seen a SummerSlam this damn good since 2015.
I was about to say, it definitely wasn't the greatest SummerSlam ever, but now, WWE from WrestleMania to here seems to have just nailed the pay-per-views.
Well, WrestleMania Backlash was a fail. Hell in a Cell was meh. Didn't really care for it. Money in the Bank was good, but this one was I'm not going to say it was the best. I might say it's great. I'm definitely going to say it was good.
So far, 2 of the 4 or 2 of the big 5 or whatever the hell it is nailed it. Or 3 of the big 5. 3 of the big 5 have nailed it. So
yeah, you keep forgetting. Money in the Bank is now part of that. I'm calling it the Power 5 or the Big 5. I ain't going to say the Fab 5.
The Fab 5.
Yeah. So it's in Nashville, Nissan Stadium. We found out the attendance was 44th. I think it was 44,449 or something like that. We heard from Kane. I wonder what Kane's actual reaction was over there, because Twitter fucking blew up when they saw Kane on their screen. Get that piece of shit off our screen.
Oh my God.
48,449 was the attendance.
How much is their attendance? How much attendance can that arena hold?
Well, it's a football stadium, so you're looking about 65, 70,000. But remember, they curtained off half of the stadium. If that would have been WrestleMania, they could have filled the whole thing up. They could have potentially filled the whole thing up.
I mean, hell, it's for 48,000 out of a 70,000 freaking stadium. They did solid, I would say.
Yeah, but I felt like they should have just filled the whole thing up. But they did like they did with the setup last year. They didn't do no big setup. They did their entrance in the corner just like they did in Vegas last year with the parallel entranceway. I mean, they could have pulled it off like that. Hell, I was expecting a fucking massive pinball machine as their entrance.
I did too, honestly.
They could have pulled it off with the other half of the stadium they ripped off, but no, they curtained off. But no, they I'm surprised we saw some fireworks, but we didn't see much. But at least they delivered with that.
I was disappointed we didn't get any like opening pyro. I'm like, you don't have opening pyro.
Well, it was daylight.
Like, I don't care. Set that shit off.
But I know some friends that went to the show, like the Texas Sports Queen from Queen's Takeover. Cat, her and her husband were at the show. Ella J from Wrestling Gal, she was at the show. Battle from Battleground, he's from Nashville. Battle and Eli from Battleground Podcast, they were at the show. And I know a few other people from like around the country that traveled to Nashville and went to the show.
I know Allison from Botch Spots and Chair Shots was there.
Yeah, he's from Nashville. Yeah, and Will was probably there.
When the Bell Tolls podcast, like their whole crew was there.
See, I was looking into going, but the problem was it would have been an 11-hour drive for me, and I didn't know if I really want to take that risk and drive 11 hours all the way out there just for one show and then manage to drive 11 hours back the next night. I went to a Puddle Mud concert Friday night in Baton Rouge, an hour and a half away from my house. I damn near fell asleep on the road driving 45 minutes.
How was the concert?
It was good. It wasn't amazing, but I enjoyed it. I love the band, but it's just, Wes Scanton's history in the past, like of all his issues. And I enjoyed it, but he was kind of out of tune. The sound audio people didn't have his mic all the way up a lot. So like you can't, there were times you couldn't hear him sing, but the crowd was singing so loud with him. I still enjoyed it. I mean, he sung every song I wanted to hear except one song. But other than that, Nothing Left to Lose, the Royal Rumble theme.
Got it.
But he sung everything else. He kicked off with Control. He sung that. He sung Spaceship. He sung Stone. He sung He sung like 2 songs from his latest album. He sung She Fucking Hates Me. They went back and they encored with Blurry.
Nice.
I was thinking role reverse. I figured they were going to close out with She Hates Me, but no, they closed out with Blurry. They had a fucking fight in the middle of the floor. Well, it was in a nightclub. They did it. It's called the Texas Club. It's this big ass country honky tonk that gets like some of the biggest, not just the biggest country artists, but they get some of the biggest rock bands and stuff or classic bands, and they have posters all over the walls of everyone that ever played. Well, by the 3rd song, there were so many fucking rockers that were wasted. One dude, like, I don't know how it happened. Next thing you know, I turned around. There's these 3 big, massive security guards. You know, when they come on that dance floor, one of them was fighting 2 of them.
What?
It took 5 overweight security guards to get a small, overweight white guy down.
Oh, my God.
And what was funny was they kept playing. And I'm looking at Wes Scan. He's like laughing while he's playing. And when it was over, he was like laid back. Like usually when they have shit like this, the bands will freak out like, y'all need to get y'all fucking shit together. One more fight. No, he was like, let's get along, guys. We've been through enough fucking shit the last 2 years. And he's talking about the pandemic. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
That's great.
I'd probably go see him again, but
nice.
Because I've always wanted I was a big fan of them growing up. I always wanted to see them. I finally did, but I mean it was good. It wasn't the best show ever.
Okay.
So man, there was something else that happened that night. I wanted to mention shit. Oh, yeah. So it's in a country honky tonk, but the radio station out of Baton Rouge that was advertising it was a rock station. So they're playing like hard rock music all throughout the night till like the first opening man. And it's funny, like they were playing like Walk by Pantera and everyone just started headbanging on the dance floor. They played Cult of Personality. They had a CM Punk chant going on in the bar.
I remember you putting that up there where you were like, the DJ played Cult of Personality and everyone's like,
yeah, it was so cool.
That's great.
There was probably like it was about 7 or 8 people in the front row chanting CM Punk. And then I looked at one guy next to me. I'm like, I told him straight up, I said, now every time I hear this, I can't think of CM Punk now. And he was like, yeah. But turns out, like 3 guys I met, I talked to were wrestling fans. And I had on my World Elite podcast hat. And then they heard it. They were like, what's that? Is that a podcast? I say, yeah, it's mine. It's my wrestling podcast. And they were like, oh, shit, I'm going to have to go check it out. I'm like, yeah, go check it out.
Shit.
Yeah, it was fun, but I wasn't recognized over there. I didn't know anyone over there. That goes to show you how much people in Baton Rouge listen to our shit.
Fuck.
We probably got more listeners in Thailand than we do in Louisiana, because we're always like in the top 10 in Thailand.
Nice.
Every time we look at the rankings. So, yeah. So SummerSlam, but it was funny. Like if I'm watching the pre-show on my phone. But we were watching the so-called like countdown on Dish. We ordered it on Dish. They're playing 2 different things, so I'm like watching the kickoff just in case if they add a match or something. But there was no matches. Instead, we get Titus O'Neil doing what he'd done before. He did it at WrestleMania. He did it at Money in the Bank. They get these like charity organizations, and he gives them titles, and they each give them a $20,000 donation. And something I've seen multiple times. So shockingly, no match on the kickoff. But like I wanted to mention, everyone that I knew that went to that show, I wonder what was the temperature of the weather at the start of the pay-per-view, because it obviously got so hot that I counted 3 or 4 different superstars botched on the ropes because it was so hot in the humidity they were slipping on the rope. I spotted Pat McAfee with a botch, Logan Paul, Theory, and Liv Morgan slipping off the rope.
It must have been pretty hot then. I didn't see anybody talking about like the weather, what it was like.
They must have had some fans blowing around the ring at the bottom, because I remember at one point when Logan's Paul and Miz's match was going on, Logan's hair was blowing in the ring.
Oh shit. Okay.
I was like, well, at least they're cooling him down. Not like in fucking Saudi Arabia that one year where it was like 100 degrees and Undertaker almost had a fucking heat stroke.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that was my only concern. If I would have went after seeing how good the show was, I'm like, man, I kind of should have went. But then I wasn't pissed. I was like, it was a 11-hour drive. If you want to go see that awesome show. Well, kicks off with Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Of course, they treated it like WrestleMania. I loved Bianca's attire, kind of looking like a Tennessee cowgirl look. Becky, I don't know what the fuck she was wearing.
She is Lady Gaga with that gear. Every time she comes out, I just go, she looks like Lady Gaga. I'm like, she is now Lady Gaga of WWE. She comes out with these fucking big ass glasses and these weird looking hats, and her gear always looks all bizarre. And I'm like, yep.
I call that gotta be the Kanye West sunglasses or something.
Yeah. They were freaking massive, though. My God, she had to like stick her head up and probably look her eyes down to see where the fuck she was going. Like, looked so awkward.
I had a feeling the show was gonna kick off with them too. I think it was the perfect way to start it. And okay, and I don't have a lot of complaints about the show, but I do have one rant I gotta say. I'm sorry. I know you were in Nashville, Tennessee, the capital of country music, but I'm sorry. Country music and wrestling don't go together. I hated the fact they used Crazy Town by Jason Aldean for their build-up, and they were playing it throughout the night. I guess they were just like, okay, fuck Kid Rock. He's not really from the South. He just got that South vibe, even though he's from Detroit. But his fucking song was awesome. He's more of a rocker, but I mean, he has a little country too. But we'll talk about him later, but fucking Bianca and Becky, great match. It was great, but it didn't have the same expectations like WrestleMania. I thought their match at WrestleMania was their best match of their series. This one was probably second best.
This was great. It really was. Like, I love the ending sequence. I thought that was fantastic. It was so good.
Yeah, she attempted to do like the KOD out at ringside and on the concrete and all
Mhm.
that. I think she did manage it, and she got in the ring, but she kicked out. But then when she hit it that next time, I was like, okay, that's it, it's over. And sure enough, she
Yeah.
retains. I wouldn't call it a letdown for Becky because, like,
And then
well,
Spanish Fly into it too. Like, perfect.
I'm surprised at the end. Like, I was waiting to see her do like a fucked up moment. Like, she extended her hand to shake her hand, and I'm like, watch her, Bianca. She's crazy. No, she
See,
shook her hand.
you were
They
saying the
hugged.
same thing I was saying too. I was saying it too.
Shook her hand, hugged her, and I'm like, okay, that's class act. She'll get a lot of respect for that. Well, she's walking through the crowd. Well, then Bianca's still in the ring. I'm like, well, she's in her home state. People get mixed up. They thought she's from Nashville. No, she's from Knoxville.
Yeah.
Knoxville's on the whole other side of the state. She's from Tennessee, University of Tennessee country, volunteer country. Well, then we didn't have our TV that loud. Like, we got surround sound at my parents' house, but we didn't have it too loud because my dad don't like to have shit too loud. I recognized the theme song playing in the background. It's Bailey's theme song, and I'm like, finally. And I couldn't hear how loud the crowd was. I'm sure
I had my volume cranked, so
they were probably.
I heard it. Crowd went freaking crazy. So
yeah, they probably were pumped that she came back, and Bailey's back finally after a year, about 14 months out. She's walking good. She looks good, and I'm like, well, she's still going to be the heel. Well, she stands halfway through the walkway. Then we hear another theme. I didn't recognize it at first until I saw the Titantron, and I'm like, holy shit, Dakota Kai's back.
Yes.
Remember, she got released last year. Triple H signed her back, and I'm like, holy crap. And then we hear Io Shirai's music, and I'm like, you could take her off the milk carton. I don't know if y'all had her on the milk carton, but she's back. Now, what I've heard, they changed her name to Io Sky. What do you think of the name change?
I don't hate it. It's Io. She's fantastic. I don't care. You can call her anything. I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of her.
I said the same thing. Like, when I heard the name change, I'm like, okay. Like, it didn't sound bad.
It doesn't sound bad. You say it a couple times. It's just like, oh, okay, that's not the worst. Like, she's the genius of the sky. So just call her Io Sky. That's not.
She had Sky in her nickname. So I was like, okay, Io Sky. I can get the hang of that. It could have been worse. They could have named her like Mio Abdomen or some shit.
What the fuck?
I don't know. If Vince was still in charge, he would have named her something like that.
Well, he would have gave her something stupid. You know that.
Well, they're all three standing, and I'm like, whoa, wait, is this a new faction we got? When I saw this, no lie, when I saw that, Bianca was standing in the ring alone. When I saw three women right there, I'm thinking in my head, what if fucking Toxic Attraction shows up? Three more. They go after them. No Toxic Attraction. Becky runs back and is side by side with Bianca, and I'm like, oh shit. Or we got a babyface turn here. But I was like, well, it's 3-on-2. Then I was waiting for someone else to come, but nobody else showed up. It's 3-on-2.
You know who's getting involved in this now, right?
Who's that?
Asuka.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just think, Asuka and Io interacting right now. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my shit.
That could be a potential match on Raw, SmackDown, Clash at the Castle. Asuka teaming up with Bianca and Becky against Bailey, Io, and Dakota.
Just saying, the tag match just sounds amazing.
Or if it's just Dakota and Io against Bianca and Becky, I'm good with that. But I feel like if anyone's going to take the title off of Bianca now, it's probably going to be Bailey.
It's either that or you put it on Io.
Yeah. Or if they bring the women's tag titles back, put it on Dakota and Io.
I still think Rhea's taking it though. I still think Rhea's going to take it from her.
Rhea Ripley? Rhea?
Yeah, I think she's still going to take it from her.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it still screams since they never actually had that. I think Rhea's gonna take it, honestly.
I don't think she's injured anymore. I mean, hell, she's been getting physical lately.
Yeah.
All right, so next match we get Logan Paul versus The Miz.
Oh, wait, there's one more thing I had to add about that too.
What's
I
that?
love this. I love the also about EO showing up because that's a big fuck you to Dave Meltzer too. I love that. Anything that's a fuck you dirt sheets moment. There's all the thing of EO's 1 foot out the door fucking nonsense, and she's like this close to going out, like leaving, and Triple H is just like, hey, I got her on the main roster now. Now what?
Oh,
So
I love the
fuck you
meme
dirt
of like,
sheets.
I've seen it multiple times. I love the meme with Vince McMahon at the ECW show, and it's about to cut to the next picture. And it was like Vince McMahon watching SummerSlam at home, or Vince watching Triple H rehire Dakota Kai, or like different ones. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you, Vince.
Fuck you dirt sheets, because you
Fuck
said
you too, dirt sheets.
EO was out. Fuck you. She's right there. So
And I listened to a little bit of Smacking It Raw. They said like Vince sold his like all his shares and shit. So like he's no longer owns anything.
yeah,
Good.
He's out, gone, nothing anymore.
Thank you. Starting
No,
off my vacation week and my birthday week with a bang.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, Logan Paul versus The Miz. So first Miz, okay, I love how they're treating it like WrestleMania. Like they always wear weird attire. Miz was wearing some green shit.
Yes.
Tommaso Ciampa is like currently reminding me of Damian Sandow a bit. Like he's like imitating Miz. He's like all up the Miz's ass. It's like an entourage of him. But man, Maurice, oh my god. I see why people hate the Miz so much.
Seeing Tommaso Ciampa come out there in fucking neon colors like that, just fucking applauding the Miz, is an absolute embarrassment. I hope Triple H's first thing for him is having him just murder Miz on TV.
And if you look at real closely, I thought Miz was wearing a Pokemon trading card also. No, it kept saying it was like a Polaroid.
Oh, was it? Shit.
It was a Polaroid of him skull crushing Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Wow, he would.
Because he was making fun of him when he wore his Charizard card that was worth like $5 million or some shit that he bought. But that Joe Carlino, who's like the Pokemon genius, he can tell you more about that card, or go watch. I think it was our WrestleMania Fallout. We brought him on, and he was talking about that card. His neck, and he was imitating Jim Cornette on the podcast, saying, "What the fuck is a Pokemon? What is a fucking Charizard?"
I love Joe's fucking Jim Cornette impression. That is so spot on.
And Logan Paul, dressed in his same attire like at WrestleMania, changed his theme song. I didn't realize he had a different theme now. The one he had at WrestleMania was pretty good. But, okay, we got Logan Paul. So, as much as I hate the guy, everyone hates him because of how rich he is just for being on the internet. He's just this fucking YouTube sensation. He's a podcaster. He's a boxer like his brother. But that dude can wrestle. I'll give him that. He's a damn good wrestler, but I'm not jumping on your bandwagon, dude. I fucking hate your ass.
Yeah, same. I literally said the same thing. Just because I'm gonna freaking be blown away by your wrestling, it don't mean I'm gonna hop on your freaking back and be like, that's it. This is the fucking train I'm hopping on right here. Like, hell no. I don't like the Miz either. So it was like I had no choice but to freaking want Logan to win because I hate the Miz. But because it's like Miz to me bores the shit out of me. He wrestles like he's afraid to fucking fight anybody. And then I watch Logan Paul and I just get blown away and I'm like, I hate you with a fucking passion, but you fucking blow me away with your goddamn wrestling. Like, at least you give me something, unlike the Miz.
The only way I'll root for him is if he fights Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my God, your hatred for Dolph needs to stop. What is the hatred for Dolph? I don't understand.
I just don't like him. It should have been me.
I hate that. That's the only Dolph Ziggler I hate.
The
Is
whole
it should have been.
hi, I'm Dolph Ziggler, the slick blonde hair, the love for Vicky Guerrero at one point, wearing your title belts backwards. Emmett wanting to be like Shawn Michaels, a Shawn Michaels ripoff.
You sound just like my brother when he used to say all the time that Dolph's trying to be a Shawn ripoff, and I'm like, that's hysterical. That now somebody else has said it.
The only credit I'll give Dolph, even though I hated him at the time, when he cashed in on Del Rio, I said, oh, I hate both of y'all, but I'll rather you as champion than fucking Del Rio.
Anything but Del Rio.
When he cashed in on Del Rio, I was like, well, finally, someone took it off of Del Rio, but
Del Rio and his delusional ass going around saying, I'll be in the WWE Hall of Fame one day. Bullshit, you will. The only fucking place you deserve to be in is a goddamn jail cell, rotting there.
And I guess Logan Paul's going to adopt this move, but remember at WrestleMania, a lot of people hated his guts. Not only when he did the Three Amigos, but when he did the Frog Splash, because they did it in Eddie's home state. He did it off the top rope through the announce table, and he executed it perfect. I'm like, I guess that's going to be a move for him now. He's going to
said he's getting his Shane McMahon moment on. Let's go.
Now, I feel bad for Triple H's homeboy, Tommaso Ciampa. You went from this amazing gimmick with the no one will survive vibe on NXT, and then you bring him to the main roster to be some shit shack with The Miz. Like, the way he argued with the ref, like saying he tried to get involved, he got caught, and then he goes to eject him, and then he's like, nope, I ain't going nowhere, grabs the steel chair, and he's sitting there pouting like, I ain't going anywhere. And then hear AJ Styles theme. AJ comes through the crowd, he's beating up Ciampa. I'm like, well, we get to see AJ Styles, but I feel like, why doesn't he have a match on the card?
Again, I was just glad that both of them weren't in this match, because that is ridiculous. AJ Styles teaming with Logan Paul, freaking Tommaso Ciampa associated with The Miz. Like, I want Triple H to literally walk up to him backstage and go, so this is what you've become, huh? What happened to the Ciampa that I knew?
Yeah,
like just
Ciampa that
this fucking Johnny.
The Ciampa that feuded with Johnny Gargano was the one I loved. Well, at one point, what did The Miz have in his hand? Like, Maurice threw something to The Miz, and he went to go hit Logan Paul with it. Was it the Polaroid thing? I don't know what he went to hit him with.
I couldn't tell. It looked like a cell phone, but I couldn't tell.
He went to go hit Logan. He moves out the way, but he almost struck Maurice, but Maurice slipped off the ring apron because of they were wanting to blame the humidity, why she slipped, even though she had those long heels on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he hit her, but I was like, no, he didn't hit her. I think she slipped.
Yeah, no.
She didn't sell it. She botched. And then when he turned around, Logan Paul hit him with his own maneuver, the skull-crushing finale, gets the 1, 2, 3, and then I'm like, I'm not pissed because I predicted Logan was going to win, but I'm like, oh, fuck. He beat The Miz with his own finisher. We're not going to hear the end of this.
I laughed my ass off. I was like, he beat Miz with his own move. I was dying.
I was like, fuck you, Logan, but this is kind of funny.
It was fucking hysterical. He just beat The Miz with his own move. That's fucking so hysterical.
I'm not going to be able to watch Raw live tomorrow night, but I will record it. When I come back home Thursday, I'm going to watch it. It's crazy. I'm going to be in Houston tomorrow for an Astros game. Raw's in Houston that night, too. So Raw's going to be about a few blocks away from where I'm at.
Holy fuck. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah. But I'm going to watch it when I get home. But yeah, I have to see Miz's reaction. I know he's going to lose his shit. And I would not be fucking surprised if somewhere down the road, Logan Paul is going to potentially be a champion. And I ain't talking about the WWE title. I'm not going to talk about the 24/7 championship. I'll say like a mid-card title.
And he's going to have the U.S. title at some point. I don't know when. He will.
Maybe a tag title. If he can find the right partner.
The thing is, I don't want to see anybody have to team in with Logan Paul. I don't care how impressive the guy is. It's Logan Paul.
Then we get Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the United States Championship. The night didn't go as planned for Theory. He come in there all confident. First up, he does not win the title back. I was expecting this to be a squash match, like when Lashley got on the turnbuckle to do his pose. Theory comes with the briefcase. I'm thinking in my head, as soon as that bell rings, he's going to spear him out of his boots and it's over. No, they go a little longer than that. But he mainly just dominated the match and just showing his strength. When he picked him up in that military press and then he just catches him with the hurt lock and then he just immediately taps out.
I was incredibly disappointed by this. I was like, I just remember watching their Money in the Bank match, and it's like that was just so good, and this was just such a waste. It felt like
he did counter some moves or two.
It just felt like it was nothing compared to their Money in the Bank match. I would prefer their Money in the Bank match, like plus Theory literally going hands on, like ready to go, and then like Lashley gets the advantage and he's just like, well, fuck this, I'm out, bye, see you later. And I'm like, well, the fuck was the point? Why? What is you fucking stupid? It's not even the only stupid thing he did in the night.
I mean, he did do a few good counters and shit that had me like, holy crap, but I thought their match at Money in the Bank was way better.
Yeah, way better.
But I mean, it was an okay match. We'll do the ratings at the end. Then we get they did this with two different people. I don't know why. Like, remember they did like this big video package of Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens wasn't even on the card. And then they did the same thing with Charlotte later in the night. Like, what was the whole point of that? I mean, hell, I was already more disappointed about KO not even being on the card either. But Charlotte, I could give two shits for her. I don't even want her coming back. And I know she's down the street getting ready for her dad's last match, teaming up with her husband. So I'm like, still ain't going to see her for a bit. I mean, there was a few others we'll talk about later that should have had a match and whatnot. So we get to the Mysterios versus Judgment Day. This one was kind of unknown for everyone because they swore Dominic was going to turn on Ray and join Judgment Day. We knew Edge was going to come back. We'll talk about before we get to the Edge talk. The match was, I thought it was boring. It didn't look bad, but I wasn't that interested in it. I was waiting to see if Edge was coming out during the match or after the match, if Dominic was going to turn, if Ray was going to turn. That's what I cared about more. I didn't really give two shits of this match. Rhea was getting involved, her strength, picking up Dominic on her shoulders and knocking him down on the ring apron. I laughed hysterically at that.
The fact that it's a no DQ match and you have tags is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It should have been like a tornado tag if it's no DQ.
Yes.
Texas Tornado.
Yes, that should immediately subject to tornado tag, not tags. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to have like a DQ? It's like if the illegal participant isn't in the ring, you can't call the match on a fucking DQ. So what the hell's the fucking point of tags? Like, literally.
I literally kept forgetting it was a no DQ match because the only weapon I saw throughout the night was a steel chair.
Yeah, they didn't use the stipulation either. So this whole thing was like, this whole thing's been disappointing, and I don't give a shit because I first off, I don't give a fuck about Judgment Day anymore. You already like it started depleting when Edge was leading it during the AJ feud, and then you did the illogical bullshit by having them turn on Edge, which makes no fucking sense. And then they've done absolutely nothing that I don't give a damn about what they're doing. Like, they can literally like jump anybody at this point, and I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. This faction is dead. I want them to just disband at this point. Fucking screw it at this point. It's there's nothing. The crowd didn't even make an ounce of noise for them. They cared more about what Ray and Dom were doing, and when Edge comes back, they only gave a fuck about that. When Judgment Day was in the ring, they gave no fucks about anything Judgment Day. It's dead. It's over with.
And like I said, I kept forgetting it was a no DQ match because they only used like one steel chair throughout the night. And at one point, they didn't use weapons for a while. When Rhea got involved and put Dominic on her shoulders and knocked him on the apron, I was like, oh, shit, it's over. No, I was like, oh, I forgot, it's no DQ. No, what's going on? No, they didn't use tables or anything like that. They just used one chair. At one point, I think Damian Priest caught Ray. We did some move to Ray, and then Finn was about to do the coup de grace, but he told Rhea, get a chair. I'm like, oh shit, is this where we're going to see the turn? Well, then the lights go out. I'm like, well, here comes Edge. Here comes Edge, or here comes whoever. When I saw the fire flame up on that little stair, when I recognized the stairway, I said, it's Edge. He's going to rise up. The flame, it looked pretty cool, though. They shut all the lights off, and then the fire starts flowing around it. And then Edge popped up. Okay, Edge looked cool with short hair doing this, with the glasses.
The whole thing looked badass. I loved it.
Was there a song playing in the background? Because I couldn't hear no music.
It sounded like a different song too. Like, it was so weird. And when I first seen the entrance, I swore to God I heard fucking Hurt Heel, and I was like, wait a fucking second. I'm like, are we like legit here? But then Edge comes up, and I'm like, why the fuck did I just hear Hurt Heel playing? I was like, I am not losing my mind yet. Come on.
Well, I know when I saw that little stairway, I knew it was Edge, but I was like, well, it's not Metal Angus. I don't have to hear Metal Angus anymore. I was like, maybe he got a new theme. Everybody was like, what's this Alter Bridge song he got now? And I'm like, I didn't hear no music. All I heard was the crowd roaring and the flames burning. And
it's another Alter Bridge song. I couldn't tell. I couldn't hear it because the crowd was losing their mind. Seeing Edge again, and it was just like I was just like entranced by the freaking dope ass entrance, and that was really it. Like, I wasn't paying attention to the music. I just watched him come up, fucking fire all over the place. And I'm like, this is fucking cool.
Well, the way Finn and Damian reacted, I was like, okay, he's not going back to Judgment Day. Damian goes out, he attacks him halfway, then he gets in the ring, spears Finn so hard out of his S&M wrestling pants, and they get a double 619, and then Ray with a splash over the top, and it's over. I'm like, well, no heel turn, no Ray turn, no Dom turn. We're obviously not gonna get this turn, because remember Ray said he wanted to pass the mask over to Dominic. Like, Dominic's not gonna wear a fucking mask.
Even if he does, like I said, it's not gonna result in a turn. It's just gonna result in a father versus son. Ray's gonna retire. He's gonna pass the mask to Dom by losing, and that's about it.
If they have the match, that's how it's gonna go. It's not gonna be no heel turn like you're not my father, Eddie was my father, blah blah blah. None of that shit. No, it's gonna be where Ray's like, I can't go anymore, but I do want to have one more match before I call it quits, and I want to share the ring with my son. It's gonna be something like that, and they're gonna make a big deal out of it, where it's father, son, babyface. And when Dom wins, or if Ray wins, then they're going to have the emotional moment. He takes the mask off. We see his face for the first time in WWE. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you can see his face more and more. He hands him the mask. They cry. They hug. Here comes Aaliyah taking a break from OnlyFans. Come and give her a hug to her son and dad. And then Angie comes in there and all that.
Ray's daughter does OnlyFans?
No, I said that as a joke. Like,
oh, I thought like for real. I was about to say,
I wish, but no, she don't. No,
I was about to say, what the fuck kind of content is she putting on OnlyFans?
I made that as a joke. The way she stood up, tits to tits with Rhea, and I'm like, she's gonna kill you, girl. You better go make an OnlyFans account or something.
She sounded fucking so weak saying that. Like, she had so little enthusiasm. Like, just fucking get out of here. And I'm like,
she sounds like that fucking that bully chaperone school teacher at a dance. Like, get out of here. And then Rhea just grabbed her by the face and shoved her.
She just fucking vanished too. Must have been the supernatural shit they wanted to do with fucking Judgment Day. They were like, they pushed her into a portal. She's gone.
No, I hysterically laughed at the comments over the weeks. There's obviously some people that either don't watch wrestling or don't know who's who when they did the whole. I mean, I knew the Buddy Matthews shit. I liked that. The whole Buddy Murphy got on Twitter saying they should fight for my custody in a ladder match. Those were funny, but no, there was some people I saw when they showed the clip of Rhea shoving Aaliyah. She's like, one guy was like, she was just trying to protect her man. I'm like, oh yeah, she's fucking her brother Dominic. They're from Alabama. Let me tell you. Someone thought that was Dominic's girlfriend. I'm like, no, that's his fucking sister, you stupid ass.
Vince has one more fucking crazy fucking storyline. It's a fucking incest thing with the Mysterios. Fuck that.
No, that ain't Dominic. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Dominic's little girlfriend he has is fucking sexy as hell.
I haven't seen his girlfriend, so.
Well, I see him all the fucking time on Instagram. I don't follow the dickhead, but I follow Ray and Aaliyah. That he's gonna magically pop up on my timeline, and I see his fucking pictures with him and his little lady, or him and his sister and his dad at Padre games and shit. Like who gives a shit? The Astros are better than y'all anyway.
You do you, Dom. You do you.
At least he's getting him some pussy finally. Eddie would be proud.
Latino heat for a reason.
Yeah, that whatever her name is, that's his China.
Hey, there we go.
Not as Vicky. Jesus Christ, I don't even want to talk about what I saw on fucking Vicky Guerrero on Twitter.
Oh no.
That fuck you saw. You must have saw it too.
No, I didn't. Oh no.
Well, obviously there are a few airports. That's why I refuse to fly still at this time. There's obviously some airports in the country that still make you wear a mask.
Okay.
Now there's some airports like you don't have to wear. You can take it off on the plane, but you have to wear it at the airport, like when you're checking in or doing airport security, or if you're at the terminal.
Okay.
There's some airports they don't give a fuck. Like I think all the airports in Florida are like over it. Texas is kind of 50-50. Well, wherever Vicky was at, she made a TikTok video and she put it on Twitter. She was complaining because she's like me. She's like, I'm over this mask mandate shit. She was like, a woman came up to me at the airport. She's like, no mask. And I was like, yeah, and no panties either. I'm like, no, Vicky.
No.
Oh, fuck you, Vicky. No.
Oh, my Lord.
When I saw that, I'm like, excuse me.
Oh, my God.
Eddie, what were you thinking marrying that? Edge, what were you thinking fucking that? Dog, fuck you. You can have it. But, Edge, what the oh, man.
Oh, my Lord. And then the other dude that she was with, too. Fucking that.
Big Show.
Escobar. No, that Escobar guy that she was with. Oh, my God.
Remember she had an affair with Big Show on Edge.
That was the weirdest fucking thing ever. It was disgusting.
It was kind of funny. When she's the black and white security camera, they're making out, and then she slapped his fat ass when he walked out.
God, no.
Let's move on. It gets better. Okay, Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin. I like McAfee's new theme song.
I don't know. I wasn't feeling.
I'd rather Seven Nation Army like everybody else, but I like how when Corbin was walking halfway down, there's a choir in the Raptors of Nissan Stadium. They're chanting "Bum ass Corbin."
Love it.
Oh, I laughed, and then they were humming with his theme, and I thought that made me like his theme more. And Pat McAfee wrestling in shorts.
I know. Very bizarre.
It was 100 degrees in Nashville, so I don't blame him. I think that's why Rhea was wearing shorts too.
I don't know. I wasn't feeling the theme. I was all excited for Seven Nation Army. Like you could have had the bum ass Corbin chant going, but then get Seven Nation Army, but we didn't get it. And I was like, fuck you, Peacock. All right. Fuck you.
They probably could have worked it out. They could have been like, oh, you bum ass Corbin. Something like that. But yeah, Pat McAfee, another one that can wrestle. Holy crap. I kind of want to see him versus Logan Paul now.
Oh, my God. That'd be nuts, actually.
And I'm laughing at Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary. You know, Michael Cole is like a girl at at a band, like at a fucking Justin Bieber concert or something.
Pat McAfee the entire way. It's
And
wonderful.
Corey doing the same with Corbin. It was
I
funny.
love it. I love it. I was like, so either we're getting one of two things. We're either gonna get Michael Cole and fucking Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves and Baron Corbin, or we get fucking just
No,
Corey Graves and Pat McAfee somewhere down the road.
I'd rather just McAfee and Graves one-on-one. The last thing I want to see is Michael Cole in that orange singlet again.
Watch, he wouldn't even wear the singlet. He'll probably dress like Pat. So Pat comes out in a shirt and fucking shorts. Cole come out in a shirt and shorts.
And as much as I've talked shit on Michael Cole over the years, I love his like support of McAfee, and I love them together as a team. I like him and Corey Graves commentating together too.
I do too. Really good. I like that. Like, I almost like kind of wouldn't be against Corey Graves being on both doing commentary just to see some interactions between like McAfee and Graves, and then more of Corey and Michael Cole kind of stuff. Like, it'd be interesting.
I mean, the thing about Corey Graves is I like his intelligence of the business. Like he's serious on commentary. Like he kind of reminds me of Excalibur. I just hate his obsession with Carmella. Like when he supports other heels, I listen to him and I like his reactions. I love when he fucking bashes Byron Saxton. It's funny as hell. But it's just his obsession with his wife. It's like I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Like Carmella is so horrible. She needs to be on OnlyFans with Noelle Foley and Aaliyah Mysterio. She's not as fucking good in the ring as you say she is.
She like it's that's why I think so many people liked Mauro Ranallo, is because he felt like he was like he was giving you he was giving you stats, he was giving you history, but he was also felt like a wrestling fan at the same time. So he was kind of like Pat. And it was just like, but he could also commentate very damn well. So
why did everyone hate Mauro Ranallo? I loved him. I even loved watching him in the boxing world.
I love Mauro. Like I miss having him on commentary so much. It's so just empty without him. But like right now, other than like WWE announcers, I'd probably say Tom Hannafin for Impact is probably my favorite commentator right now.
Yeah, I can't even keep up with who's on Impact now. Like they've changed it a lot. Like 1 Minute Match Strikers on commentary, then Josh Matthews, then D'Lo Brown, and then
I am 1,000% glad they got rid of Josh Matthews because he fucking sucks.
What's his name? He used to be in WWE. Now he's in Impact now.
Tom Phillips there.
Tom Phillips. I was about to say Tom Grisham. Like, no, Tom Grisham ain't in Impact.
No, Todd Grisham was on fucking like ESPN for a while.
Oh, so he pulled the Jonathan Coachman. He went to ESPN.
Yeah.
People didn't like him either. I liked him as a backstage announcer.
Yeah, he's like Kevin Patrick. He's like Kevin Patrick or Bert, if you want to call him, if you want to stick to the Kevin Owens thing.
Well, okay, like I said, the humidity, like Pat McAfee went to like leap on the top rope like he did at WrestleMania, but he damn near botched it and fell. That was cool. I loved how he did his little. It wasn't called a swanton. He called it something else, a senton something. Michael Cole had a fucking name for it. He hit it. He landed, executed it perfect, and then his version of the Panama Sunrise, but it was called the Maple Leaf Muscle or Muscle Buster. He called it something else. He gave that a name too.
Mm-hmm. It was great. It was just really sloppy. It just wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the cleanest Pat McAfee match, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I was so glad he beat him. What made me laugh was, after the match, he goes, shakes Michael Cole's hand. He DX crotch chops Corey Graves. Corey threw his pin up. He threw his pin up like, fuck. He sold it so perfect, and I loved his reaction. And I'm like, give us this match, please.
Yes.
Survivor Series.
Give me Corey and McAfee. That's all I need.
I don't care if it's in fucking Saudi Arabia or if you do it at Survivor Series. Give me McAfee versus Graves.
Survivor Series is so fitting, especially if you're doing brand versus brand. You do it. Commentator versus commentator. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, if that's even still a thing, because I still wonder how you're going to do Survivor Series now when you have a guy holding both world titles and a tag team holding both tag titles, unless you end up splitting them at the last fucking second. But we'll talk about that later in a bit. All right, so speaking of in between, we get a promo halfway down the ring by Drew McIntyre. If you watch SmackDown, Drew McIntyre won the good old fashioned Donnybrook match against Sheamus. I thought that match was fucking great. They got
Predictable as fuck. My God.
Drew and Sheamus got so much great chemistry together. Even if Butch tried to fuck the match up, I still enjoyed it. But it was a no-brainer. We knew McIntyre was going to win the match.
Mm-hmm.
He come out and cut a promo and had his moment with Angela holding the sword up and pyro flies and Drew and I like how they keep mixing it up. Like Drew's from Scotland. They keep saying, "Oh, he's going to be in front of his home crowd." No, they're in a whole nother country. They're just going to be in Europe finally. They're going to the UK, but they're going to Wales. They're not going to Scotland.
Yeah,
mixing it up. Like stop.
Yeah, I didn't need this promo. Like I'm ready for Drew and Roman. Like I'm
sorry.
I mean, it's just we saw their match at Survivor Series and it was fucking awesome. So I can't even imagine what they're gonna have in fucking Wales. Like I cannot picture the craziness that match is gonna be.
No telling. Well, also, I don't know. I forgot when it happened. It might have been in between these next two matches, but then Riddle jumps over the crowd and calls out Seth Rollins. First off, I was already upset Seth didn't have a match. We all thought he was going to have a match with like Johnny Gargano or something. What made me laugh was the way they were chasing him when he went past security and Adam Pearce, and they were chasing him through the walkway, and then they're going at it, and then he curb stomped Riddle and knocked him unconscious. And I'm like, well, there goes that.
When he came out, the first thing I said was, so what was the point of not having the match then? If Riddle was just going to be here, what was the point of not having the match?
Maybe they'll have it at Clash at the Castle. I have no idea.
That's the only thing I can think of, and I'm fine with that because like I said, if I was going to say if they were to save it, and because I really want to see this, I want to see them two go at it again, and I'm ready for it. You want to hold it off and make me want it more? Fucking go for it.
Yeah, but now I'm getting worried. If they drag this all the way to Clash at the Castle, something's gonna tell me Riddle will probably fucking win, and Rollins will lose another match.
That's what I'm saying. Rollins can take the losses right now.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just ready to see him finally. Like, he won a match by disqualification. His last pay-per-view win was a DQ.
Oh, wow.
That
Rumble match? Yeah. That Rumble match with Reigns? Really? Wow.
That was a DQ. Seth Rollins won by a DQ.
Didn't realize he's been on that long of a losing streak, but like I said, it's him and Becky are doing the same thing. They're just on this little downward spiral right now. So
that's why I said he should have beat Cody Rhodes at Hell in a Cell. Cody had that injury, but they had to treat him like fucking Superman.
I mean, that fucking moment is still nuts. So,
and everyone swore it was going to be him coming back. Now, y'all don't understand when it comes to a pectoral muscle. I don't know how Cena got lucky, but Cody's no John Cena. Cody's not going to come back till probably the Rumble. He should be cleared to compete by then, and I'm still predicting it. I'm predicting Cody will win the Rumble in 2023 when that time comes.
Rollins is going to be champion by then.
Or Drew, or still Roman. You never know.
Oh, I think freaking I think Seth's going to win the title. We're getting this again at WrestleMania, and it's going to be nuts.
It's going to be 4-0. Like Jesus Christ, dude. Y'all acting like it's fucking Tommy Dreamer and Raven now. All right, so we get to this next match. We get the Usos versus the Street Profits for the undisputed WWE Tag Team titles with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. the way the entrance for the Street Profits with the Tennessee Titan cheerleaders playing the Tighten Up song and dressing in Titans, had the Titans look out. Their logo was homage to the Tennessee Titans. And Angelo Dawkins is a Bengals fan. I don't know about Montez Ford, unless I don't know, but I figured, oh, what if they do win? And like their little cowboy hats. That was funny as hell.
I know.
But this match was kind of disappointing. Their match at Money in the Bank was fucking great. You think they would out-top it? No. They had some good moments, but what changed this whole vibe of the match was when Montez hit that frog splash. The time he wasted because he hurt his ribs. If he'd have landed straight on whoever he did it to, was it Jay or Jimmy?
Yeah, I don't remember which Uso it was.
I think it was Jimmy. If he'd have landed, like, after he hit it, if he'd have landed straight on him and Jarrett covered 1, 2, 3, it'd have been over. No, he kind of pulled a Rob Van Dam and landed it and kind of flipped over, and he fucking hurt his ribs, and it took him like 10 seconds to get on top of Jimmy Uso, and Jeff gets the count, but he kicks out, and Montez just fucking loses his mind and arguing with Jarrett, and then that's where the whole fucking thing changed. I'm like, okay, they're not winning now. What if we get and I was waiting for a fucking breakup of the Street Profits. Dylan thinks it might happen on Raw with how that match ended up, but the Usos retain, and I told him, I said, when I saw the Usos retain, I said, Roman's retaining tonight. They're not losing them titles tonight, but I thought it was going to be a show stealer, but no, that match wasn't all that. And Jarrett being the referee was fucking pointless. All he fucking did was argued and had near misses and shit, but
it underdelivered. It underdelivered, and fucking Jarrett sucks as a fucking referee. Guy fucking is so inconsistent with his counts. One count's normal, and the next count is still normal, and the next count is fucking slow, and the next count is fucking fast. And I was like, I fucking hate Jeff Jarrett so much right now. He is an awful referee. I was so disappointed with this. It felt so underwhelming. It came nowhere near close to that fucking Money in the Bank match. Like, I don't know who's taking these titles off of them. Like, we were talking last night here, and it was just like, watch, they're just fucking gonna go Usos and fucking New Day again, and I'm just gonna be pissed. I'm gonna hate this shit, because I was even calling the fucking breakup. I'm like, let me guess, this is the fucking breakup here. Great. And now another tag team out of the division now. This fucking sucks. Like, I'm over the Usos. They need to lose the damn titles. And it's like, it's all going to probably happen now at Clash the Castle, which is just, I don't know. It just sucks, because now they lost clean. You can't even justify giving them a rematch at this point. So I don't know what's going to happen next. It complete letdown.
Well, this is what I think now. If they don't break up Monday night, I think they're going to have one more match at Clash at the Castle. Now, I don't know what they can do to out-top their last two meetings. Everyone wants a TLC match, and I said, how are you going to have a TLC match with 4 fucking titles hanging above the ring? One guy struggles grabbing 2 belts. What makes you think one guy is going to have the nerve to grab 4 titles at once?
Well, this is why for years before I stuck with what I was always talking about with the brand split, the one thing I always said was keeping the tag titles merged like this, merging the divisions. You merge them together. So literally you can just cut one of each of the titles and have a Raw and SmackDown title and keep it like this, where it floats between the 2 shows. Then it's like, you got to do the same for the women's division. Like, ununify the fucking world titles, but just put the women's titles together, have it be one fucking division that floats across both shows, one champion that's on both shows, have the tag team division be one of each of the tag titles, and then just go from there. Like, and you have your 2 world titles, and you can just go from there.
It is so unknown what's going to happen next. because I'm hearing all different sorts of shit because they are going to have in October, they're either doing another draft or they're doing a shakeup or some shit. And they're talking about what they're going to do about the titles. They're saying they were going to split them or they're going to actually unify them into one, or I don't know what's going to happen. In 2.5 months, we'll know something. Triple H and Stephanie will figure something out.
I wish they just go back to one roster. I fucking hate it. Like, I've never been a fan of the brand split, and I've tried to justify it multiple times, but I've never really been a fan of the brand split. Like, I'm just over it. Just fucking do it already. Like, I know freaking Fox and USA want 2 different shows, and fuck them guys, you know? Like, just get the goddamn roster back to one. Have it be on both shows. Do what you gotta fucking do at this point. Like, cut the shit already.
What did you think of Kid Rock making out with Trailer Trash Tammy?
I was like, what the fuck is that? It looks like he's making out with fucking Honey Boo Boo's mom. I was fucking disturbed.
The way I saw that, and then he flips the camera off, and I'm like, yeah, TV 14's back, baby.
They fucking censored it, though, bastards. He flipped off the camera, and they fucking censored it. I went, you fuckers.
That's Peacock for you. I watched it on Dish, so that I saw the whole 2 fingers.
They censored it on fucking Peacock. He went and it fucking blacked the screen out, and I went,
oh,
you
man.
are fucking softies.
How are you going to be TV 14 if Peacock's going to keep doing that?
This is when they fucking get off Peacock and go back to the network. This is where Triple H fucking works the thing out, and they fucking cancel that bullshit and go back to the network. Thank God.
Man, I laughed hysterically at that shit. Like, I was laughing at the comments. I mean, everyone already hates Kid Rock because of him being a Republican and a Trump supporter, and now they don't like his music anymore. Like, they loved him in the 90s. I'm a fucking big Kid Rock fan. I love his shit. I love his theme song, but I like how they obviously don't like him much. They went go get Crazy Town by Jason Aldean to be played most of the night instead of the actual theme Shakedown. And I'm laughing at the comments of him making out with Tammy, and then I was like, well, Kid Rock likes his women like we like our cracklins down here, mostly meat with a little bit of fat. And I said, I'd rather watch Sammy and Ty make out than Kid Rock and her.
Yeah, sadly.
Kid Rock was probably fucking drunk.
Oh, God. It literally looked like he was making out with fucking the guy from fucking the Cleveland show's wife there.
Oh, shit. The bear?
No, the redneck guy who has the really big overweight wife in the scooter.
Oh, yeah.
That's all up right there. And I was like, oh, my God, that is fucking weird.
And I was like, I didn't realize it was Trailer Trash Tammy till Dylan told me. She's like some YouTube sensation. And I'm like, it looked like he literally just picked up the most hillbilly bitch from the trailer park in Tennessee. That big
room was like, who wants to come with me to SummerSlam?
That's the type of women you would see at like a beach with rebel flags and thinking she's a Victoria's Secret model and she's overweight and got Daisy Duke shorts on and a fucking bikini halter top where their fucking tits are parallel apart and they're like pointy and shit. And I'm like,
oh my God.
And they say wrestling and they think it's real and like took our jobs and shit.
That is disturbing.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. All right. You think it gets any worse? I feel like we're going to be ranting about this more. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That match was so fucking garbage. And I hated what they had to do to get Liv to retain. But I'm glad they fucked Ronda over. Because if the referee would have saw her tap out, she'd have lost. But no, he looked at the shoulders down. And I was fine with her winning like that. But it was such a sloppy match. I don't even know if she's really injured now or not. And then Ronda loses her fucking shit. And she's beating up the referee. I'm like, well, that's a fucking fine right there. I'm waiting for her to fucking fight with Daivari. I'm waiting for her to put Daivari in a fucking armbar and break his arm.
I
That
thought she
don't
was.
happen. Ronda, fuck you. I wish you'd fucking quit and leave.
This was such a fucking mess. Like, I didn't see her tap out when I was watching it. Like, I just saw her get pinned. I just saw her get pinned, and I went, fuck. And I was like, okay, she beat her. But then Corey was like, no, she tapped out. She tapped out. And I'm like, you can't be fucking serious. I'm like, we're not doing this. And then they watched the fucking replay, and she fucking tapped out before the 3 count, but luckily the ref didn't see it. And I was like, I can't believe we're fucking doing this. I'm like, I hate this. I'm like, you're going to fucking put the smudge on the goddamn title reign already. This is bullshit. Like, fucking, I hated this with a passion. And of course I get somebody who's like, Liv's not a fucking believable challenger to Ronda Rousey. I'm like, nobody in this fucking division is a fucking believable challenge to Ronda Rousey, but it's fucking pro wrestling. It's not gonna fucking always be a believable fucking challenger. Like, the point of her was to be an underdog against Ronda, but you made her look like dog shit. You made her look incredibly fucking weak in there against Ronda. Like, bullshit.
I hated it. I was glad when I saw it, like, it was after the 1 count, I saw her tap out. But when I started seeing her tap, I'm looking at Ronda's shoulders and I'm looking at the ref's eyes. He's got his eyes locked on her shoulders. So if he just saw her tap out, it'd have been over. I was like, they'd have fucked her over. But no, they fucked Ronda over. I was okay with that because, like, Ronda fucking sucks anyway. She loses her shit, and I'm like, no more. Fucking go. I'd rather see Liv fight Natalia next or something, or Sonya Deville. I'm over fucking Ronda.
All it was to get the heel turn, and it was just fucking stupid. I didn't care. I was so pissed. I was like, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit.
I don't want another match, because if they fight again,
we're gonna have another match. It's fucking ridiculous.
Ronda
got screwed. Because Ronda got screwed there, and they're gonna have another match. And Ronda's more than likely taking it back.
Yep.
This is how fucking quick Liv's title run's gonna be. Yep. And it's horseshit.
Yep. If they fight again, it's over for Liv Morgan.
It's bullshit.
Ronda's gonna get it back.
Anything with that.
And I don't want it to happen.
I don't either. I'm gonna be fucking like, I'm gonna go on my show and fucking rage if I don't go on yours on a fucking like recap like this and fucking rage. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah. All right, now we get to the main event: Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, last man standing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. So, the way this match went, it looked like this is the final match ever between the two, but I would not be fucking surprised if they get another one in Saudi Arabia or something. But I'm shocked it went longer. It was like 23 minutes. That was the perfect amount for me. It didn't go
match on the show.
Oh, it was the best match of the night. It was the match of the night. It was their best match of their whole rivalry.
Yes.
There was so much that happened. Okay, Brock coming out with his fucking tractor.
First off, I saw that on social media. Someone goes, there's a tractor in the fucking aisleway. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, I guess it's Cowboy Brock, so this is what you're going to get. But I'm like,
you're in Nashville. Yeah.
It's fucking bizarre. And then he came down like halfway down the ramp and then just goes back and is like, I didn't grab my tractor. I need to get on this thing. And I'm like, what in the fucking hell am I witnessing right now? Brock Lesnar is driving a tractor down to ringside. This is nuts.
He had to ride for Lane because yesterday was the 33th anniversary of Lane Frost's passing. He rode for Lane. Wow. And fucking Corey Graves trying to be country, and he told Michael Cole, well, if that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass. He was quoting that country song.
Oh my God. Fucking Blake Shelton song? Really?
No, that wasn't a Blake Shelton song. I thought that was a Johnny Cash song or Johnny Cash.
There is a Blake Shelton song that does that though too. Like, that's called Kiss My Country Ass, but That's crazy. That's the fucking logo on the side of the bucket of Brock's logo is fucking hysterical. I was like, it's a Brock brand tractor.
David Allen Coe sung that
Ah,
song. If that ain't country, I'll kiss your ass.
that's crazy.
Now it's a red tractor. What if that would have been a green tractor, and then Corey Graves would be like, Michael Cole, I'd take you for a ride on my big green tractor.
I hate Corey Graves. If you'd have said it forever, that is ridiculous.
I will say Corey Graves did. I quoted the tweet. I'm finding it. Corey Graves actually said something last night that literally made me fucking laugh so hard, and it was during the match with Logan Paul and The Miz. He said The Miz starred in 11 Marine movies. Logan Paul starred in Airplane Mode.
I laughed too.
I laughed at that too.
I understand the reference, but I laughed because the airplane mode thing, but I fucking laughed at it. I was like, 11 Marine movies? I'm like, there's not even that many movies.
But I get what he was making fun of him. Like, I still say John Cena was the Marine star.
Yeah.
Well, they are going at it. Like, they're fucking tearing each other apart with tables and whatnot. But the tractor with the bucket came into play. Now, I don't know why. This is what I kept thinking. I thought sometime in the match he was going to pull like a Mankind. Like, remember when Mick Foley grabbed that?
Yeah, I said the same thing.
I thought he was gonna smash Roman with the bucket and hold him down for the 10 count. That's all I kept thinking about. No, that didn't happen. No, at one point I loved how he stood on the bucket and he jumped off the top of the bucket.
Yeah, he looked so uncomfortable doing that, though. I was like, damn, Brock. I know you've done that. You jumped off a high height thing like that once, where you jumped off the forklift with Big Show, but like, I know you're probably uncomfortable as fuck doing that because you're not used to leaving your feet.
Okay, I don't know if you watched this closely. I actually retweeted the video. It was a fan video that was there that videoed this at ringside. After Brock introduced himself, as soon as he introduced himself, he threw the mic at Roman, and Roman fucking caught it with one hand.
Did he really? Holy fuck.
It was fucking cool as shit. Like,
it's got reactions. Like, holy shit.
It's like Brock Lesnar, he fucking chucked it like that. Roman just not moved and did.
Damn, that's what I'm talking about.
You got. I'm gonna send it to you in the group, in our group chat. I'm gonna find it. While I find that, I do have one complaint. I want to rewind back. The fucking Maximum Male Model Water promo.
God, I fucking hate this. I don't even care what's happening anymore. Fucking end it already. I can't stand it. I cannot fucking stand it.
I know. I thought they were getting rid of Max Dupree and bringing back LA Knight.
Nope. We're still getting Max Dupree. Now we're just getting 4 people in a fucking group because
who is the girl? Who's the girl?
That's Sophia Cromwell. That's the one who's fucking around with Tarzan on fucking NXT 2.0.
Oh, I don't even remember his name.
Maxine.
No, the Tarzan guy.
Yeah. Von Wagner.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the girl who was with him.
I sent you the video.
Okay.
Your brother will see it too. So he puts Roman in the bucket, and then he lifts it up. And I'm like, okay, what is he gonna do? No, he just tilts it and he dumps him over. And I'm like, well, that ain't gonna do much.
I laughed because that was kind of lame. He was like, I'm like, this is gonna be fucking epic. And then Roman just kind of like, and I was like, oh, never mind.
It was no, but what made me laugh was after he did that, he put the tractor back in position. He's just lounging in his tractor until like Roman got up at like 7 or 8. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. He picks up the fucking ring.
He put the truck down and pushed it first. I went,
pushed it.
Bro, that's fucking nuts. And then he went under the ring and fucking jacked that thing up on the left side. I went, this is quite possibly the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. I thought he was legit trying to flip the whole goddamn thing. If he'd flipped the whole thing, I would have lost my fucking mind.
I felt like that's what he was trying to do, but I don't know.
You just needed to get it at a different angle then.
If he wouldn't have pushed it too far, he probably could have done it.
He could have done it. All he needed to do was get it at a different angle because he hit it from the side. If he did straighten it up and hit it from like near the middle and picked it up, that thing would have been over. He could have had a drove forward, and that thing would have flipped.
If he had a forklift, he could have easily did it with a forklift. But yeah, I love everyone's reaction in the crowd when he lifted. Like, fucking Corey, what the hell? And I like how Roman stumbles down like he was on the Titanic, and I'm like, holy shit.
I love the slow crowd reaction too, because it was like when it starts going up, they all start rising like a wave, and I was like, "That's fucking great! That view is amazing."
That would not happen if Vince was still in charge.
Nope, absolutely not. He would have.
And I like how he just leaves the ring like that, and I'm like,
"No, what the fuck?"
I felt bad for the people on the other side that couldn't see shit though.
I thought it was gonna fall off there, and I was gonna be like, Jesus God, that is insane. But just the sight of it jacked up on the bucket just was like insane.
I'm like, well, maybe no cash in now. I'm like, how's he gonna cash in when you can't really do shit in the ring? And okay, then he comes out. Then I'm like, what is he gonna try to get himself in the match where he can just win with a 10 count at one point when they were both laid out? Well, he never technically cashed in. The referee never waved to the announcer and said, ladies and gentlemen, Theory is cashing in Money in the Bank. No, as soon as he gave them the briefcase, Brock Lesnar F5'd him on the briefcase.
He was so stupid. That was the second dumbest thing he did in the night. He literally hits Roman with the fucking briefcase and goes, don't worry, Brock Lesnar's not nearby. I'm going to cash in and nothing's going to happen. And then, like, he gets fucking F5'd, and I'm like, you are a fucking idiot, Theory. Like, you've done two stupid things tonight. I hope to God that you fucking notice this now. Like, he was so stupid.
And then Roman takes his briefcase and is just beating the fuck out of Lesnar with it. And it got to the point. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I think we've been waiting to see this for a long time. Finally, Paul Heyman got hit with an F5
through the announce table.
And I love how Lesnar didn't even force him on the table. It's like he light dropped him and the table just collapsed because he's a big guy.
So good.
And
so
Paul
good.
Heyman sold it. Yeah, he sold it so good. He was out the whole night. But I thought this match was going to keep going, like 3 times? Roman hit Lesnar with the title, and he kept getting up at 9.5 and shit. And then at one point,
died listening to my brother that whole time, because literally when he hits him with the briefcase and he gets up, and then he hit him with the fucking WWE title, and he got back up, and he's like, okay, Brock's going to be ready for this one. But no, he takes the Universal title in the head, and he goes, Brock Lesnar just looked like a fucking idiot. He's like, really? He didn't expect him to get hit with himself to get hit with the Universal title? He got hit with the WWE title and Money in the Bank, and he's just like, well, Roman's not going to hit me with anything else right now, right?
No. I was waiting for him to miss it and hit him with an F5 or something. No, he just kept getting hit. And then the Usos were involved too. Of course, you can't have it without the Usos. And Michael Cole, for the love of God, count faster.
I was like, what the fuck is he saying? I was like, why is Michael Cole saying that? Like,
once I saw them pile all that shit on top of him, I'm like, he's not getting up.
It was nuts. It was
Roman got his ass kicked. Roman took an ass whooping, but he survived. If the Usos didn't get involved, if Theory didn't try to cash in, he most likely would have lost the match.
It's just,
I still enjoyed it. I said he's gonna keep. I said Clash at the Castle is gonna determine if he goes to WrestleMania with the title. If Roman beats Drew, Roman's going to WrestleMania with the title. If he loses, then Drew or Seth Rollins, like you said, could go into Mania with the title.
This match was nuts, though. Literally, they're the greatest match they've had.
Yes.
Ever have had and ever will have. Like, there's nothing else that's going to top this. Like, I've seen people say that their 31 match, their first match ever against each other, where Rollins cashes in, is the best match. No, this fucking beats that by miles.
That was their best match. I think I rated that match a 4.5.
I think this beats it. Honestly, this is just pure fucking carnage, and I love it.
Now it's hard to explain what was their second best match because, their match at WrestleMania 38 was not bad, where they unified the titles, where they claimed it was the biggest WrestleMania main event of all time. Their match at Crown Jewel last year was not bad. Their maybe their steel cage match at Greatest Royal Rumble was bad. Maybe it wasn't. Now their worst match ever, that was WrestleMania 34.
Is that the one where he opens them up hard way and shit? Like,
Yeah, that's the one where the crowd like booed the whole time and they were tossing beach balls and
yeah, they
shit.
didn't give a fuck. And it's like if you look past the crowd, it's not the worst match, but it's a Roman Brock match. There's nothing different in a Roman Brock match. It's finisher spam up the ass, and that's all it is.
Well, that match exceeded your expectation. It went longer. I think it went over 20 minutes. That was good enough. The whole lifting the ring up with the fucking bucket and then them destroying each other. Heyman getting hit with an F5 finally. And
yeah, you heard me say it multiple times. I don't give a shit about this because it's Roman and Brock, and nothing comes different out of this. But then you get fucking Brock Lesnar and Roman. Yeah, at some points it was the same match as usual, but then it got different. And then you fucking throw a tractor in there with a jacked up ring, and we're good to go.
Now, what's next for Brock? You think Brock's done here, or is he going to take time off and maybe come back at Rumble? What do you think?
I don't know. What can Lesnar do anymore? What else is there that anybody wants to see from Lesnar? Really, there's like nothing.
I don't know.
Unless he's going to go in there against fucking Braun Breaker.
Plus,
but that's like probably years away from happening.
When it went off the air, Brock went in that ring while it was still jacked up, and he gave the crowd something happy to go home to. He got the crowd rowdy and shit. But I don't know.
Maybe Brock's hanging it up. I don't know. Like I said, there's not really much left for Brock Lesnar to do.
Yeah, because that technically was the last match, unless he goes in a feud with McIntyre again down the line. I mean, that's the only other person I could see him feuding with is Drew McIntyre, or maybe Seth Rollins again. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about Cody Rhodes.
I don't know how into another Drew Lesnar match I'm into. Like, their match at Mania wasn't really anything fucking special.
That was their only match, too. I'm shocked they didn't have a fucking trilogy like Roman and Lesnar did.
Yeah, it was literally just Drew hitting Claymores, Lesnar hitting Germans and F5s, and that was it. Like, it's nothing fucking special. It's like, it's one of those friggin' things where Lesnar just doesn't come to work with certain people. Like, when he's in a ring with a small guy, he'll come to work, but when he's in there with a freaking bigger guy, it's just like, you ain't getting shit from me except German suplexes and F5s, and that's all it is. Like,
I mean,
boom.
outside of Drew McIntyre, if he decides to have another match down the road, the only other people I could see him feuding, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, or even Theory.
I mean, if Theory beats him, that's pretty big for Theory.
No, if they have a match, he ain't gonna beat Theory. Theory ain't gonna beat him.
No, he could. Like I said, if he plays it smart, he can beat Lesnar. It'd be payback for what happened in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. But everyone can be relieved. No cash in. He's not champion. He's going into Raw Monday night with just his briefcase, his battered up briefcase. Now, I don't know why. I think I just might as well stop thinking in my head. This was the second time when a pay-per-view closes out. I'm waiting to hear The Rock's theme. No Rock either.
I don't think it happens for a while now, honestly.
I think we'll get Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, but maybe it'll be after Survivor Series. They can build it up, or Royal Rumble, but I just can't see the title getting involved if they're going to do a Rock Roman match.
It really doesn't need to be involved. Like, I know the whole thing is Roman proving to The Rock that he really is the head of the table, even though The Rock really is the head of the table.
That's what they need to focus on. I will be good with this match if they focus on the whole Anoa'i family. They put the whole family in a storyline. That's more main event than having the title involved. Like,
Yeah, I don't see the point of needing Rock getting a title match against Roman. Like literally, Roman just has to tell him hands down, "Hey, I just carried this company for over a year, showing everybody why I'm the head of the table, while you were off, like in nowhere land." And then Rock can freaking bring up the fact that he's been doing it longer than him, being the head of the table, and you just build that shit up like a motherfucker. Doesn't need a title.
it's like, just bring the family, bring the bloodline in the storyline, bring the Anoa'i family in the storyline. That's all
Right?
you need to make a main WrestleMania main event.
Yes.
That could be your main event for night one, if all I care. Put Roman and Rock main eventing night one, and then night two could be your title match with Drew and Cody, or Seth and Cody, or whoever.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Unless
Yes.
that's what I'm sticking to. I think that's how it's going to go down. If we're
Should.
going to get a for Rock and Roman, that's what I'm believing. But yeah, that will do it for tonight. Or tonight. That'll do it for today, actually.
Yeah.
So get that out of the way, and then we can go ahead and start getting ready for Clash at the Castle. I like the poster they released with Roman holding his titles, Drew holding his sword with a castle and a dragon eye in the background and shit. I mean, SummerSlam, I gave the whole show a 4. It was a damn good show.
Yes.
Do you think Clash at the Castle will outdo SummerSlam?
It could. It all depends on what else is going to be on the card at this
Exactly.
point.
Yes, we have, I think they said, 4 or 5 weeks? September 3rd. It's about 5 weeks till next time they're on Premiere Live on Peacock, Clash at the Castle, September 3rd. So in like 30,
Wow.
32, 33 days.
That's crazy. A whole month of nothing leading up till that. That's good, though.
The only wrestling happening in August I can say is Impact Wrestling's Emergence.
I'll be probably watching that, too, because...
No AEW show, no WWE pay-per-view.
no, All Out's not till September also.
Yeah, the next day, September 4th.
Holy shit.
Unless New Japan got something going on in August. I know NXT's doing Heat Wave in August. Another USA special.
Yeah, in like a couple weeks.
We'll get a little light break. I mean, I just hope SummerSlam goes back to August in the future. I mean, it was so crazy seeing it in July, but I get that's why they did that, because of Clash. Clash of the Castle might be a one-hit wonder pay-per-view. I doubt they're going to keep it as a stream. Like, they're going to keep going back in September or late August from here on out. I think it might be just a one-time thing, and SummerSlam can go back to August next year, because it's still weird seeing it in July.
It's going to be good to have in August, because then you get time to build stuff. So,
yeah. Well, that will do it. You can only find him on Twitter at JustinTime211.
Episode will be coming out later today after I get done doing another review with somebody else.
I'll be checking it out. You can find me on Twitter at Mark89_ again. But that will do it for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Watch out for more live streams coming with Worldly Podcasts. Y'all have a great week.